Hello, it is 7:56. I woke up at like 7:15 or something, and I tried to go back to bed, and then I'm like, oh, I actually am gonna be awake. Okay, sure. Uh, Pain-wise, I feel a little sore, but you know what? I'm feeling good. Which is great. So, I mean, it worked. I oh yeah, I weighed myself. This is a good one. I'm at 275.5. So that is almost a full 2 pounds. It's like 1.7 pounds. So, I mean, that's good. That goes to show you that now, okay, I'm not sure if that is because of yesterday or because of the day before yesterday, where I just didn't eat half of the stuff that I normally ate. Because I think there's like a lag. So theoretically, we'll know tomorrow for sure if my body lags by a day, because I'll lose a lot of weight tomorrow. If that's the case. If it's not the case, then it's almost like reverse confirmation that, like, oh, okay, you had this big day where you did basketball and you did your walking, you lost weight, perfect. That's like, now you know. And I can test that more, so it's not like I'm never gonna do any other exercise or activity. In fact, there's some stuff I want to do today, and in my head I'm like, wait, I could be doing all sorts of other fun stuff that I haven't done in a while. And I just haven't done it because I've been like worried or scared or whatever it is. Anxiety around it. I'm like, why should I let that stop me from doing whatever I want to do? So then I got my the big walk with my sister. We're gonna be going, I don't know, some trail, I think. So that'll be fun. I'm just thinking. I don't know. We'll just let things unfold. Yeah, I guess that's it. I was just waiting to see if there was anything that would come up, but didn't really have anything, so that's okay. Alright, I'll talk to you guys in a few seconds, I guess. Bye. Hey guys, it is 12:51, and I've got my food. So I went to the gym to basically scout out the swimming pool stuff, and the pool's closed. I'm like, no. So then I went to a different gym, and that gym doesn't exist anymore, and I'm like, no. And then I went to another one, and that one, everything was fine, but the locker rooms, like the bathroom and everything was so gross. I was just disgusted to try and swim there. I really struggled with myself because I wasn't sure if it was like a intuition thing or if it was something else. But I'm beginning to understand that I think that disgusted feeling is the intuition saying no. Because like I didn't really care that it was like kind of gross, but I don't know. It was like very strong reaction. And I say gross, but like just didn't look well maintained, I think is what was going on there. And so God knows what's going on with the pool if they can't maintain a sink, right? So maybe that was it. But anyway, so I walked for 30 minutes. I was like, actually, I think it was like 25 minutes. And then I got off because I just got the feeling that I needed to actually just rest today. Today is just about resting. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, I guess today's rest. And then there's this other thing that's going on that I'm like, I've been really getting more into like tarot readings recently. Only the ones that kind of call to me. And I'll just know I should click on, like, it's almost like my body clicks on it before my mind catches up on whether I should click on it or not. So that's usually when I get like incredible readings for the exact thing I'm like thinking or feeling or whatever it is. If I have to try and like decide, it's usually not right. I've also come into contact with, like, I didn't even know that picking signs, I thought you were just supposed to know that you, like, oh yeah, I know these are the signs. But now I understand more of why in a lot of tarot readings there's like, oh, well, if this resonates with you, maybe this sign will like resonate or whatever it is. And so I picked some that were like meaningful to me in my journey. And then I found another one, and then I was like, wait a minute, this is more than just a sign. This is like, I should actually get an art commission for it. And then I just paid for the art commission just like 2 or 3 minutes ago. I think it's going to turn out amazing. The artist is really good, and I really like their art style. And I was looking at this bare wall behind me, and I thought about like, well, maybe that's where my paintings go. Maybe that's where the future art goes. It'll take about a month to make, and unlike the other artists I've commissioned in the past, this person's like, okay, I got like 3 stages where we can collaborate and make changes if it doesn't fit your vision. And I'm like, oh, that's like really cool that this artist does that. So I'm excited to see what comes up. But they were also like really passionate about like, hey, here's my idea, here's why. So I won't spoil anything about it, but I am very excited to see how this turns out. I'll just say that, well, no, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let it show up. So then there's this other thing. So getting back, there was someone that I had been talking to. I'd known her for, I don't know, maybe like 1 or 2 years. just online. We haven't ever met in person, but there was always this kind of background connection that I just kind of felt. And apparently she felt it too, because at one point I decided it was like October, November, somewhere in that like range of last year, I reached out to her and I was like, hey, there's this connection that I think we have. You want to explore it? Nothing like serious, just kind of seeing what happens. And yeah, it was really nice, and things seemed to be like progressing really well. And then I started feeling like I wasn't ready to be in some sort of relationship, whatever this might be. And then at the same time I felt that, she messages me and is like, hey, there's this thing where like I started talking to this other person and we click, and I think I'm going to be in a relationship with them. So I wanted you to know that like we're not, like, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. And I was kind of relieved at the time, because it was like, oh, like, I didn't know how I was going to broach that topic. And it just was like the perfect out for me of like, oh, great. Like, she has found someone that's going to work for her. And like, I don't have to like tell her, hey, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Whatever this is. And again, it was very like, it was like friends that felt like we could become more than friends at some point. Like maybe in a couple months, 6 months, we like go and visit each other, whatever it is. Like that's the kind of feeling we were kind of having. So again, it was like a spark, but nothing more. And then it literally was just like, I hadn't heard from her at all for like, I can actually look to see how long it's been. Am I wrong on the timeline? Okay. So I guess the like whatever it was, I think I'm wrong on like the exact timeline, but it was like January is when we stopped talking, and then there was like a month of silence, and then suddenly, I don't know if it was me or her that like messaged to like be like, hey, how's it going? And then we kind of just did a little small talk, and that was kind of it. But okay, so the reason I'm making this is important is because there was this like, I've been having a lot of these readings I've been drawn to recently that I think have to do with her, where again, I have no knowledge of her situation or anything going on with her, so it could be totally delusional in my head. I'm just like stating that as like I could be totally wrong here. My feeling, something has happened with the relationship that she chose, and maybe she's regretting it, and she doesn't know how to talk to me about it. That was my gut feeling. And then I just kept getting these twin flame readings where it's like I'm drawn to them and they're talking about this similar thing where it's like, okay, the person that's like this twin flame is like, they don't know how to like come back into the energy that like there once was. And sadly, it's like this is kind of, I can feel a tug towards trying to like talk to her, but at the same time, it's like I feel a call in a different direction, if that makes sense. This is where it's complicated, or at least it feels complicated to me, where it's like I didn't really know what to do with this tug because it's like I feel like I've kind of not, I don't know if moved on's the right word, but like I can tell that it was like a valve got shut off where it was like 1 minute she was there and we were like best friends, and then the next minute it was like suddenly like we're not even friends, even though I know that we still are. And so that bothered me for a little bit, where I was like, I don't know, it almost felt a little bit like it made me question, like, was there even anything there? And a lot of the readings that I've been like having, not me, I didn't have like very specific readings, but the readings, the tarot readings that I'm like seeing pop up and I'll watch, very much are like, it's so funny. The last one was like, and I know if you're wondering, like, is this real or not? Like, it's totally real, but also it's kind of like they just, the person who you're thinking about is like, feels really awful for like, I don't know, they just don't know how to kind of reconnect, and they're struggling with their own stuff right now. And so it's like, they're not going to be able, they're not ready to like talk to you. And it's so funny because every time for the past week or so that we've been trying to like have a chat, she just cancels it at the last minute. And I don't think it's malicious. I think it's like she just doesn't know how to, she can't face what's kind of going on. I don't know what it is that she's like, what's going on with her, but like she even mentioned that she's kind of going through a rough patch. And so, you know, it's kind of the idea of she has to go on her journey, and her journey is probably not with me, at least now. And I think once she resolves her stuff that she's going with and going through, that we could probably be like good friends. I think that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. But I feel this calling, and it's, I'm not kidding you, it's like 3 or 4 readings, like they've all kind of said a similar thing, which in and of itself feels like crazy, because like a lot of the times the person who's doing the reading is like, okay, I don't normally do this, or I don't normally talk about this specific thing, but I feel like really obligated to like say this, or this energy showed up at like 2 in the morning, and so I'm like, I don't know what to do, so I wrote it down, and then I fell back asleep, and I don't like doing these kind of readings, but it showed up, and it's like, it just felt like all the people that I think actually have like a really strong gift in this regard, they all went through a similar thing, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. So yeah, so basically what I'm trying to kind of get at here is there was a moment when it first happened, where she just out of nowhere kind of pivoted like 90 degrees. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt a little bit, because it wasn't just that she pivoted. It was that she pivoted and then completely dropped me altogether. I think that's what bothered me more than like the pivot itself. Because I'm like, well, like, I don't think anything has to change. We can still talk to each other and like support each other, because it never really went too much past the friendship stage. So like, we can just continue being friends. But then we just, nothing, like, yeah, it's just like, oh, well, now we're not friends, I guess. So that hurt. Do I resent? No. Of course not. I understand that, like, she did what she needed to do in the moment, and I think it actually was supposed to all happen that way. Because I don't think I'm meant to be with her. And I think if I did pursue something back then and she had chosen me at the time, I don't think I would have gone through the experiences I went through to get to where I'm at. So in a way, it's so funny. I like mentioned to her, I'm like, okay, coming into this, like, I need to like open my heart back up, because I've been locking my heart for so long. And she helped me like crack open the door. And then in successive things, like, that crack was what helped me like fully open it. So she was very pivotal in like helping me get there. So I like really appreciate it. And I don't know, like, I think she, I don't need to be sad or upset or worried, because she did what she needed to do. And I totally, like, I don't feel, I want to like say that I forgive, but also it doesn't, it's like, it's almost like there's nothing to forgive. Like, I never, yeah, it like made me sad that we didn't talk, but also it's like, yeah, you got shit going on. So like, what's there to forgive? So that's where I hesitate with like, where it's like this weird line of like, it's not quite, like, I don't think she did anything wrong. So there's nothing to forgive. But I almost feel as if she feels like she did something wrong from her perspective. And so she needs forgiveness, even though I never felt that way to begin with. So it's like, do I just say I forgive for something that I didn't even think was a problem? Like, I don't know. I don't know. So I guess I'll just leave it at that for now. And, you know, if she needs me to say that I forgive her whenever we do talk at some point, when she's ready, like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I guess I'll just explain to her what I just explained, that it's like, there's nothing to forgive. It's fine. You know? But yeah, I feel like this has been an important process for me to kind of work through, because the call that I'm being called to, there is someone waiting for me. That's the person I'm going to be with. And I think I just need to, like, let go of all of this energy. And kind of fully clear the air, so that I can just kind of move forward and not kind of worry about the peripheral stuff. Obviously, like, if she wants to talk to me, we can totally be friends. If she wants to, like, hang out at some point, be cool to meet up. But, like, you know, I think in this, you know, if there's twin flame energy, which definitely, like, okay, I haven't looked too much into, like, what twin flame energy actually means. I understand it's like two people connected on a soul level, right? But I don't really understand any of the specifics. But I definitely feel a connection, if that makes sense. I just hit the table, sorry. Definitely feel a connection. And I think that's where it's like, maybe in this life, the whole point is, like, she has to go through whatever she's going through. And she helped me kind of, like, we both helped each other, even though we're not going to be together, if that makes sense. And, you know, it's like, when it comes to, like, soul connections, the physical world doesn't mean shit when it comes to, like, soul connections. So, like, whatever we do in our physical bodies, like, that doesn't really matter when it comes to the soul connection. Like, it matters, but, like, it's not, like, it doesn't change the soul connection. It's still there, right? So sometimes you just, maybe that's what it was intended to be from in the beginning, is like, hey, here's the soul connection, here's what we're planning on doing, and we're not actually going to be, like, together, and that's part of the lesson, or the thing. So yeah, I don't know. So looking forward, it's kind of like, I'm really happy that everything happened the way it did, because now I'm just such a changed person that's just continuing to change. Like, I feel like there's still big changes on the horizon. It's like, not even, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of actually worried, low-key, about, like, this month has been crazy change-wise. It's the end of the month. It's the 28th, so March 1st is tomorrow. And I think me going through this all in 1 month, it feels like this is the slow part, and that's what's really like worrying me, where it's like, oh no, like, oh yeah, I'm getting this, like, it's not anxiety, but it's like almost like confirmation. It's like, yeah, you better buckle up, buddy. It's coming. And I feel like there's going to be some sort of travel involved, but don't know when, don't know why, don't know how. That's okay. But I think the main thing, it's just the weird thing right now. I think the only thing that matters is getting myself into shape as fast as I can, which sounds so counterintuitive to how I've been doing it. But it's like, I need to pick up the pace, and yesterday was like a perfect example of what happens when I pick up the pace, because like, I honestly didn't know I could even move like that. So me getting out and like suddenly I'm like, I feel like fully alive and like in my body is like, yeah, I need to be doing more of this. So, and I think that's going to be racquetball, that's going to be more basketball, that's going to be swimming. Those three things for sure I need to like incorporate. But I also need to go slow enough to where like I don't kill myself and my body in the process, right? So I think maybe that's why it's like, okay, well, yesterday you did basketball, you need to rest today, tomorrow you're going on a hike, so maybe going swimming and having 3 days of heavy activity would actually not give me enough rest, and so maybe I'd be run ragged or something. I don't know. Like, I'm just kind of spitballing, but okay, so what is... It's also really funny, just pointing out, the person I was talking about earlier, she wanted to play a game with a bunch of people that we would like do like the group slop games. She was like, yeah, we should all play a game tomorrow at this time. And I was like, that is the time I'm going to go for my hike. So it is like universal signals of like, she's not ready to talk, and it's okay to just kind of let go, because eventually she might talk to you when she feels ready to talk, but at that point you're already going to be like moving. And so it's like the lingering kind of last remnants of this feeling, I just need to kind of let it go, because it's not right for me. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think we can have an incredibly healthy friendship once she kind of works through whatever she's working through. So I do, it's like, I love her from the like standpoint of like, yeah, sending unconditional love, just like I feel for other people. And I'm not trying to like lump her in as like, oh, well, she has been downgraded to just another person. That's not it at all. It's just more of like, you can unconditionally love someone without like having some sort of romantic aspect to it. So yeah, I think that's going to be for the best, and I think it'll help both her and me by like working through it like this. Just trying to see if there's anything else that needs to come out. I don't know. I think all that's been needed to be said is said. I guess technically she does know about this channel and has access to it. So technically, if she sees the video, I mean, hi. It's totally fine. You, like, I said what needed to be said, and I think you understand. So, you know, don't be so hard on yourself. All right. I think that's good. I'm gonna eat my food. Yeah, I wanted to go do more like exercise. Nope. It's rest day. I'm just gonna rest today, and that's totally okay. So, all right. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hello. It is 7 o'clock, or 6, I guess technically 6:59. I got made my food, and got my chickpeas back on the dried chickpeas. I just rested. I didn't do much of anything. I did meditate for like 30-ish, like it was a short meditation. It was like 30-ish minutes, and during that, something showed up that literally like brought me to tears. It actually has to do with the what's it called? With the picture that I commissioned. And so I ended up telling the artist, hey, can you like add this? I didn't even know that it was there before until it just popped up. So can you do that? And the artist's like, oh yeah, no problem. Like, it's part of the background, so it should be fine. But yeah, that was cool. It was almost like that was the final touches to the picture. Like, the picture was like whole before, but now it's like more than whole, if that makes sense. So now it feels wholer than just whole. I don't know. Anyway. So, after that, there was, I like this YouTuber named Willjum. He does Rust videos. I don't play Rust. I played Rust before it got moved to the new, I say new because it's very old at this point, but, the new version of Rust. I played a lot of the old version of Rust that had a totally different code base and actually just totally different map. Like, everything was, it was just a different game. I have fond memories of that. I remember playing that for, I don't know, I probably have 1,000 hours on that old Rust. And maybe more. I don't know. I don't really remember too much about that time, but that'll be more in the. I'll have to do like a video game part to the history stuff, which I've been thinking more about. In a weird way, my history could make for a good series where I just cover different aspects. Because, like, even the 3-hour thing is just gonna, like, do a surface level sweep over, like, what was going on. But it doesn't actually really... Like, there's so much there. It's like... I don't know how long it would take for me to actually go through and, like, document everything in a reasonable fashion. Like, I'm not talking, like, oh, well, I need to talk about the weather today. Like, not that kind of thing. It's like... It felt at the time like it was one kind of... one battle after another of, like, something going wrong or something being crazy or, you know, rushing around to do something, being exhausted all the time. So, my earlier life was very, very packed with things. So, yeah. And a big part of that is, like, video games and, like, escapism. Has, like, oh, anytime I'm not, like, doing all of the activities I have to do in order to survive, I'm playing video games to escape from the things I'm doing. So, it was like I was living two worlds simultaneously because of just how often I was just, like, I gotta play the game. And it, you know, like, my studies suffered when I was in high school and college again, and you know, it's like yeah. But anyway, I'll leave that for another time or another video. But it's been nice to just do nothing. Which is not, it's not like I actually did nothing. Like, even though I did nothing, I still ate all my food. I still went out for a walk, even if it's only a 25-minute walk. It's still, like, activity. You know, I still made sure to, like I made my bed. I still made sure to, like, clean all my dishes when I'm eating and doing things. Wipe down the counters. Like, I just wiped down the counters and, like, knocked out all the like, dirt from the air fryer. I say dirt, it's just the chickpeas leave residue, like the seasoning that I use. So some of it gets knocked down into the, like, catcher. So I just knocked a bunch of that out. But yeah, so it's like I still did things, but it was, like, the bare minimum, as opposed to, like, putting my all like I usually do. So this feels very just restful and relaxing, which is nice. So yeah, here, let me actually, you know, I'll give a little bit of a peek into the kind of stuff that I like. Obviously, you guys can't see this, but I can kind of look to see what I was watching today. Okay, so, like, an example, I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to back when Yu-Gi-Oh! First came out, and for, I don't know, a couple years after it came out, I, like, played in tournaments and stuff. But yeah, so there's a group of guys that I enjoy watching their YouTube. They're Yu-Gi tubers. One guy's named DZeef, and, you know, they all four of them call themselves the Wonky Quartet. So it's a cute little dynamic they have. Although Well, they still do, like, non-Yu-Gi-Oh content with the fourth person, but he's kind of stepped away from Yu-Gi-Oh. But anyway, so yeah, so I watched a Willjum video, then I watched Master Saga, or in this season it's Extreme Saga because it's season 10. But that's a Yu-Gi-Oh thing. Then I watched, there's a meteorologist guy that I watch. He talks about the geological stuff that's happening. He'll talk about like typhoons and all sorts of like weather phenomena, and then he'll also kind of talk about like, okay, well, these are all happening, and then also, well, what happens to be like the astrological signs while this is happening, to kind of just, he doesn't state directly like opinions or anything. He's very just like, here is the data I see from a scientific standpoint. Make of it what you will. You know? And he'll like point out patterns that he notices or stuff like that. But he leaves his opinion mostly to himself. Like sometimes he's going to have his opinions. But you know, like he was talking about silver the other day. It's like, okay, like I'll take the non-opinion parts, and you know, I don't have to necessarily listen to his ideas on silver. So then I watched a VTuber. You know, some of you might know Fillion, some of you might not. She just does really funny React content. So I was like, I want to watch a reactor today. So I watched some React slop. And it was like, honestly, it wasn't even that like entertaining. And I'm like, why did I like React slop? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. But yeah, watched a 40-minute video on that. And then one of the guys, his name is MBT, that does the Yu-Gi-Oh content. He actually has a podcast with some other people where they do Am I the Asshole posts. It's called Will of the Council. And it's just spelled council, but they say council. It's like, it's a thing. But anyway, so yeah, so I've been watching them basically since they started it. They're on episode 111, and it's interesting. Like, I don't want to actually read Am I the Asshole posts on Reddit, but I don't know. It's interesting to hear their take on an Am I the Asshole thing. So, and I used to agree with them a lot more than I do now. Like, they had one today where I was just kind of like, I don't actually, like, I think I would have, before all of this stuff happened this month, I probably would have agreed with them on their take. But now I'm like, okay, I actually see the reason why you should do the thing. I don't want to get into the whole like Am I the Asshole stuff, so I'm not gonna do the actual thing. But yeah, it was an interesting thing where I have a new perspective that is more like loving and forgiving. And a lot of these Am I the Assholes are like, well, this person did this thing to me, and now I'm doing this thing back. Am I an asshole? It's like, well, like, you know, you probably shouldn't be mean to someone regardless of what they've done to you. That's kind of my stance on it. But, yep. And then there's I don't watch this person for the like content they have, but I watch this person because they have a really good, like, chill music mix. So what I'll do is I'll put, like, her VODs on in the background, and I'll just listen to her music. But yeah, her name is Vray, and she does, like, I don't fucking know, I guess dancing. Like, she goes into VR chat and, like, dances, basically. She doesn't really have, like, a huge community, but, I mean, I guess, like, I'm trying to think of, like, when I go onto Twitch, whenever I see her, she's subbed, like, 1,000 people, but, like, yeah, like, her VODs only get, like, 9 or 10 views, so outside of the Twitch sphere, I think she's very unknown. But yeah, but she's, like, a part of, like, this larger kind of collective of people that do VR chat, like, stuff. So, you know, there's, like, a whole community there that I used to watch a lot. But yeah, I just kind of, it's like, it hasn't just, I don't know, the vibes haven't really been there, so I haven't watched any of that for a while. It's been several months, I think, at this point. But I used to watch, like, every night. It was like 7 o'clock. All right, booting up the channel and let's watch and see what happens. So, yeah. Not that their content's gotten worse, but just, like, in general, I don't know. It just doesn't, yeah, it's whatever. Trying to think of, is there anything else I want to talk about? Oh, okay. This is something that, like, I never thought. Okay. I'm just gonna state it up front. Like, I know that, like, porn addiction is a real thing. And in the past, to me, you know, if I wanted to, like, relieve myself, so to speak, watching a little porn, doing it, and then being, like, done with it is like, okay, cool, no problem. The reason I bring this up is because there's, like, an ick now with porn that used to not be there. Where, like, I didn't see it as a big issue. Now it's like, I don't have any desire to look at porn at all. And I'm like, huh. So that's an interesting, like, just side thing where I never would have thought that a change in my perspective on just existence and life and everything would have such a drastic change on such like, what I thought of as a non-issue in my life. So yeah, it's just like, I think there definitely was, like, some sort of low-key addiction there that just got, like, incidentally, like, fixed without me even, like, realizing it was a problem to begin with. So yeah, it's just, it's just bizarre. It's like, I don't know how to say it other than that, so I don't know. Is there anything else? I'm excited tomorrow to hang out with my sister and go for a walk. That's going to be fun. I don't know what trail we're going to go on, but usually I'm thinking she's going to bring her dogs because, you know, whenever you go out for a walk, like, come on, you got to bring the dogs with you, right? And I love both of those dogs. They're so adorable. So I'm looking forward to seeing them again. I haven't seen them in like, maybe it's been like 2 or 3 months. I don't know. I guess she came over and said hi like during the Thanksgiving Christmas stuff. So, but yeah, she's been really busy, so we haven't really had much time to hang out IRL. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to. I think we're probably gonna have a long walk, which is gonna be nice. Which also means it's gonna be lots of calories, which is great. I'm trying to see. I didn't watch much else. Man, it's kind of crazy when like I just look at the time, and it's like, oh, watch one Willjim video. That's an hour and 10 minutes. Watch Saga. That's 54 minutes, so that's 2 hours between the two. Meteorologist guy. To be fair, I put him at 2 times speed because, quite frankly, I don't care too much about like the content. Like I care a little bit, but it's more of like I just want to know what's happening rather than like, you know, he's more of like I'm gonna do something else and he's a side monitor kind of content. Not that he's not good at his job, but yeah, he had like an hour video, so like, yeah, that's a 30-minute thing instead. There's the 40-minute fill-in content. Will of the Council's an hour. So like suddenly you look at this and it's like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. It's like 5 hours of just, yeah, that totally lines up. I guess that's why it's, you know, 7:19 now, I guess. So can also totally see why just like whole days and weeks will just go by if this is what I do. Because this definitely was like a old Tom coded day of like, yep, watch like 5 hours of YouTube slop, whatever. Like some is more high content than others, but it's like effectively I'm gonna watch YouTube and then I'm gonna watch a stream and I'm gonna eat my food and I'm just gonna be vibing. And a lot of times it would be like watching a video while like playing a game. I haven't played many games. I haven't even had the really desire to. That's another thing. I think there was definitely like this aversion to living like in reality. And yeah, just like I think that shift from like I'm living but I don't want to be here to I'm living and I want to be here, that just changes everything, right? Because then it's like, well, if I want to be here, why do I want to watch 5 hours of YouTube content? If I want to be here, why do I want to play 10 hours of Rust or Minecraft or whatever, like Octopath Traveler, like a single... Dude, it's good. Like, I like the game, but like any game, it's not something I want to be doing if I can experience the real world. Like, I don't know. You know, I have this VR headset that I had gotten specifically to escape reality. It's like, it's the Beyond 2. It has like eye tracking and face tracking, and you know, it's like I got cool cool like tracking controllers, and I got like motion trackers and everything. And I was totally like last year I was totally prepared to just like exist in VR forever, basically, or like all of my waking time, because I just was so sick of like feeling like I just hated living in the real world. So yeah, total escapism. But now that I want to live in the real world, it's like, well, what the fuck do I do with this stuff? I'm not gonna use it. Like, suddenly it's like not attractive at all because I wanna see reality. Yeah. Which I'll just say is like, what a drastic change. It's like I flipped the switch and the lights turned on. It's that much of a difference. And again, I still think I'm like working on it. Like, not saying that I wasted my time. I enjoyed some of the content that I listened to, but it's almost like, I'll just say it, it's almost like I was meant to see how shallow and vapid the old lifestyle was compared to the current lifestyle. And the current lifestyle, while good, is very basic. Like, I'm not doing anything insane. And I'm thinking about, like, well, what happens when I'm traveling? And I'm, like, truly immersed in the traveling experience. I've traveled before, but I was like, oh, I hate the plane. I hate the, like, getting my stuff. I'm away from my computer and my, like, my way to escape. So how am I supposed to, like, exist in my, like, game world and in my this and that and the other? Like, I'm gonna miss out on Saga for a week, and I'm gonna miss out on Will of the Council, and, you know, whatever. So it's like, traveling to me in the past was just so garbage. And then I had trouble sleeping because I needed headphones and something to listen to, so I was like panic attacking before bed because I don't have my computer, and so I had to like get my headphones and then put my headphones in and then play a stream, and then that was kind of shit. And it was like a whole thing. Oh, like, my bed isn't exactly the same, so like I'm in an unfamiliar environment, and it's, you know, whatever. But now it's just like, I don't need, like, literally the past, like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 days, I've just realized I don't need to put my headphones on to go to sleep. I just lay down and I fall asleep. Like, it's totally safe to do that. I think it's because my perspective on the void shifted, where it went from like an adversary or something scary to like, oh, that's actually like, there's like care there that I didn't realize, and I'm not getting punished for the void being there. The void is there to help instead. So yeah, it's been decompressing is very helpful, I think. Like, this feels like a decompression day, even though I had like a emotional experience earlier in the day, which again I'm not going to talk about specifically until after the painting. I say painting, but like, I guess well, I don't know exactly how, like, the techniques, because it's online, I'm assuming, so I don't think there's like a painting thing going on, but the stylized, you know, artist artistic drawings that are going to happen. Yeah, I'll wait until then. Okay. I appreciate you guys watching. I see the two people. I don't know if it's the same two people, but I see the two people every day watching the video. I appreciate you guys. I see you. This is kind of, I would say, this is the prologue. Everyone that's watching now is in on the prologue of reading the journey, if you were like reading a book. And the meaty good stuff is like getting built up. It's like in the background. Everyone knows that something's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. Not even the protagonist in this case, because, I guess I'm a protagonist in these vlogs. But, it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Am I going to be the side character in some grand story where I'm just going to see something from the side and be like, whoa, what the fuck? I don't know what's going to happen. It's exciting, interesting. So, yeah. I often think about how I always used to be afraid of people thinking that the me that like if I showed my true self to people, that people would kind of, they wouldn't believe me that I am this way, if that makes sense. Which is why I always kind of shrunk to the background in the past. The guy that's like, get dragged to a party by a friend. The guy that's like sitting in the corner, kind of just doing nothing, not going and like interacting with other people. Someone shows up as like, hey, what's your deal? I don't know. I'm just sitting here because my friend dragged me here. Oh, okay, that's cool. And then they walk away. And then that's the only interaction I had. That's kind of like, that was my previous energy of trying to be as small as possible, so people didn't like come bother me. But yeah, I can feel like, it's not that I don't care about other people's feelings, but I've kind of realized that the feelings that others have in relation to interacting with me, I don't have to babysit them or put kid gloves on to like help them. Because I'll just say it, I kind of view myself as the deep abyss. And there's like icebergs above me, and that's a small part of me, but there's just so much under the surface. There's leviathans, there's fucking like, there's crazy shit like under the surface. And it's like, you see the leviathan's eyes, and then people freak out. That's like, and I'm like, bro, that's not even the big stuff. That's just a leviathan. And people are like, that's scary. It's a leviathan. And I'm like, dude, there's like 5 leviathans. Like, who the fuck cares about them? And like, I don't know. It sounds incredibly arrogant. And that's also something I've always worried about, is like, I don't want to hurt people's feelings when I kind of show up as this abyss, and then like someone's on their journey and they're like a little pond, and it's like there's nothing wrong with being a pond. That's just part of, like, they haven't had too much experience growing yet. So it's a similar thing to, like, you can't compare someone who's like 5 to someone who's 80, right? It's just like not even a fair comparison. And you don't like think any less of the child. So it's kind of like, you know, that like the 80-year-old loves the child and is like, oh my gosh, I get to see this really cool thing that this child is learning. And it's like so interesting to see the different parts of where people are on their journey. And I think part of the reason that I feel so drawn to kind of telling my story surface level and then go layer by layer down, I don't know if I'll ever get to like the true abyss down there at the bottom, but even getting halfway, like, I don't think anyone has understood me halfway. Maybe the Reiki person. I want to say, like, the Reiki person recognizes that I'm old, like, soul-wise. That, like, one of the first things she said when we were talking is, you are fucking old. Like, not just old, but, like, one of the first old. Like, you are ancient. Time doesn't even matter to you at this point. And it's like, you know, even just saying that sounds so arrogant. And I understand. Like, when you have a pond as your experience, you can't fathom what a fucking abyss ocean looks like. You just can't do it. Because it's so different in experience. It's like having a monkey on the you know, or any like animal that's like a ground animal, trying to understand what dolphins are like. It's like, yeah, that's just like, how can you even understand the total difference in perspective that a dolphin has to a monkey or a cheetah or a lion or a whatever, right? It just is so incompatible. And there's nothing wrong. They're both like wonderful animals in different ways, right? But you know, so that's kind of, it's tough to interact with people sometimes where I can see them like in their entirety. Like, I see the pond. I see everything about the pond. Like, I can just see. And then they think I'm also a pond. Rightfully so, because that's their experience, right? And so they look and they see this, like, arrogant person who doesn't really, seemingly does things that don't make sense to them at all. And it's like, well, yeah, you wouldn't understand the abyss. That's okay. You'll eventually become an abyss in however many lifetimes it'll take you. But you can't expect that. So it's very easy to kind of accidentally, like, startle the pond. Because it's like, oh, well, like, you're obviously doing this. Or this is obviously your problem. And I cut right to the like heart of the matter, because I can see the pond. It's like, I know everything about the pond. It's like an open book to me. So when I say something like, hey, maybe if you treated someone differently, you would have had a different outcome. Like, totally, like, maybe a defensive thing of, like, getting upset, or, like, being seen in, like, a not great way, where it's like, well, I didn't ask for you to see all of me. Why are you doing this? And so it's like, it's hard to, like, navigate. That's why I've always felt like I had to have kid gloves with a lot of people. Because it's like, even though I mean well, sometimes I forget what it's like to be a pond or a lake or even, a small ocean. So, I don't know. I think that's why I'm so excited. One of the things is like, man, I want to also talk to an abyss. Or at least someone who's kind of close. You don't have to be a full abyss. Like, I feel like part of the caterpillar mastery that I kind of mentioned in the past is like, it's that graduation from like a caterpillar who first started, aka the pond or the puddle, to the caterpillar who's right about to like cocoon. And that caterpillar that's right about to cocoon is the abyss. And you don't have to be the abyss to cocoon, but like, sometimes when you're the abyss, the cocoon can become like something really massive, where it's not a normal cocooning. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with like, not like, if you don't master this stage of existence and you move on, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think once you master, there's like a new level of like, something different is happening. Maybe it's like an evolution in like, from like a genetic way, like thinking about the caterpillar. Maybe the caterpillar has like done something inside it to make it turn into like some sort of different kind of butterfly than it normally would. So that's my thoughts, is like, once this is over and I like actually become a butterfly, I think something insane's gonna happen. I don't know. I can't know right now, so, and that's okay. But anyway, yeah, it's like it would be nice. I think that's why I enjoyed talking to the Reiki person so much. It's like, I don't know if she's an abyss. I don't think so. My gut is telling me that she's not quite there yet, but she's at least an ocean of some kind. So that's cool. Maybe I gotta just start talking to 90-year-olds and see who's an abyss and who's not. That'd be actually insane if I just started like befriending a bunch of old like 90-year-olds or 80-year-olds, because like they're the only ones that can kind of like get me. Because they like, talking with my grandfather when he was alive, it was like, man, his perspective was, I didn't like, back then I was just too wrapped up in like escaping, so I didn't really treasure the wealth of kind of understanding that he had. But yeah, it's like I probably could talk to him every single day for hours, and it'd probably be awesome. I was too young, so I didn't fully. And what I mean young, I mean like I hadn't brought back all of me. I was still kind of caging myself to try and like just escape defense mechanisms, walls, all that stuff. So I don't know. This is gonna be a long one. Sorry guys, it's 43 minutes. All right. I'm gonna go to bed. Have a good night. Yeah, I guess maybe these are just gonna be longer from now on. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Have a good night. Bye.